Yo, yo, what's up, champions? Dominik Sky here, Ask Dom, episode number 2. Alright, we got a lot of questions to cover. I'm just gonna get right to it. And there's a very interesting question straight up from Powell WBA. What can we do before pull-ups training when we have some restriction in external or internal rotation in our shoulders? How do you do pull-ups without pain in this case? And number 2 would be, what should we do to make our pull-ups higher than the beard to the bar? I want almost to the chest. Thank you. So Powell, the first thing is if you can pull a pull-up to the chest, basically means you can't do a whole lot of pull-ups. And you trust me, you don't have any restrictions in external or internal rotation if you can actually do pull-ups. So the problem is your pull-ups are very weak. You need to get stronger, and don't do pull-ups to get stronger, because obviously you have pain in your shoulders when you're doing pull-ups. So here the thing that would be causing extra pain would be if you also tend to protract a lot. So in that case, it's a bit more intense on the shoulder girdle. So evidently retracting more would be the thing to do if you're experiencing some shoulder trouble. So the first thing is make sure that your depression is on point. If your pull-up looks like this, then obviously you have shoulder pain. So really make sure you depress properly and try to retract more. Even if you sacrifice the height in order to be able to retract, that'd be a good thing, because it will lead to a superior back development, which will increase your overall pulling strength. So you want to improve your retraction. So really make sure to try to do that. If you're still having pain, then stop doing freaking pull-ups, because you're not strong enough yet. So start doing, let's say, neutral grip pull-up would be a good choice, and really make sure to keep your knees down as well, so you will pull more with your back than with your arms, which is what we want. And make sure to do a whole bunch of rows. Rows on the rings, rows on the bar, body straight or knees bent with a weighted vest with a plate on your chest, or with a backpack with a whole lot of weights. So do rows, do a whole bunch of rows and get your back stronger. Work on your chin-ups and your neutral grip chin-ups, and then come back to pull-ups. They're going to be easy as shit and painless as well. All right. Okay, Vladimir Bliakamman. Would be nice to have some basic free running tutorials as well. Shit, do you have any basic free running tutorials, Johnny? On your channel? Yeah?
No.
Why not? Okay.
We can make some.
We can make some, most definitely. Johnny here is very skilled in free running, so I think we can definitely make a backflip tutorial or something like that. Some basic stuff. I think we have one backflip tutorial on the page, but definitely we can do a little bit more than that. Vladimir, I'll make sure to create a note here, and we're going to do some stuff. But make sure to write down which one you want to learn, because there's a lot of basic free running tutorials we can make. So try to specify it a little bit more. All right. Dario Rocks, happy to see you. Happy to see you as well. I'm interested on what's the better way for a newbie to progress after he reaches 5x5 pull-ups. Well, after you reach 5x5 pull-ups, I would try to reach 5x5 pull-ups with nicer retraction. Which is usually not perfect. So you don't have to go with the perfect retraction, so that would be the perfect pull-up, but even that would be an appropriate goal to have. So after 5x5 pull-ups are too easy, I would go with 5x5 perfect pull-ups, or obviously you can put some more weight there to go with weighted pull-ups. But I would actually have the other option would be to go with a more lateral way of progressing and go and attack the muscle up. For example. But I would suggest weighted pull-ups would be a great idea, and perfect pull-ups as well, to work more of your back. So in that case, you could go with, add 10 kgs and then go with, 5 sets of 3, then progress to 5 sets of 4 and 5x5. Or you could go with perfect pull-ups and do, 5 sets of 4 reps on the perfect pull-ups, or perfect chin-ups as well will work that retraction. So that would be a great way to progress. Oof. Raja Bahosele Amgar Verksing. Apologize for that horrible pronunciation. How to effectively stretch for any form of running to avoid knee pain right above the shin. I think we actually should make a note on this one. I want to make a video on this, because having knee pain while running, or just having knee pain, seems to be a very popular subject here on the questions. So me and Johnny are going to make a video on how to stretch the quad correctly. So using the vertical shin would be a great way to go about it. We're going to have a video pop up somewhere here of me or Johnny doing the vertical shin stretch. So this would be the kind of the first thing you want to do, is kind of stretch that quad a little bit, make sure it's not painful when you do that. And the foam rolling would be even more appropriate to start with. So usually it's some tightness created in the quad that's provoking the knee pain. And yeah, you can address that perfectly with a foam roller. The foam roller is not great for many things, but for addressing the quad, it's actually quite perfect. So there's also a video here of me doing some foam rolling on the quad. So basically you just try to find a spot that's tight, and then usually would like to bend the leg and then extend it again, and then try to repeat that to go deeper into the stretch. But that would be a great way. So if you need to really stretch your quads and take care of that mobility and foam roll them as well, especially maybe if you're an older gentleman and like to do running. Just today I spoke with Jim, and he's 54 or 53, I can't remember, but he obviously really loves running, and we introduced it slowly, so right now he's doing it quite frequently. But yeah, he can't afford to be lazy because he's not in his 20s anymore, so you do need to foam roll that quad quite often if you want to run without pain. And make sure to do a good warm-up prior to that. Some bodyweight squats would be a great idea, just going for some, I don't know, 5 sets of 10 reps would be a nice thing to do. Alright, let's go. Person on the moon. Alright. Let's listen to the person on the moon. Hey Dominik, great to see you back on YouTube. I follow you on Instagram and you're my #1 inspiration for my own training. Thank you, brother. My question for you is, how do you eat? Well, usually with a spoon, and I put it right here and then it goes down. Yeah, usually it's like that. So regarding a bit more the detail, right now I have to eat about 4 times a day, sometimes even 5 times a day, because I'm doing a whole bunch of cardio. I do about 12, 15 to 20 rounds of boxing every day. So I need to eat a lot just in order for my weight not to drop. I try to eat quite healthy. I eat a lot of eggs, whole lot of eggs, and yeah, some good protein, some good meat. Usually not every day. I like tuna as well. So just the basic stuff, occasional salad, or a little bit of salad every day, actually not a whole lot, but a little bit, and usually not too much. Yeah, actually I'm eating very strictly the past couple of months, so that's quite nice. What does my normal day look like? I wake up, I go in the gym. No, I gotta eat first, because I gotta eat a lot, which is a pain in the ass. I have to eat straight away when I wake up, so I make my shake with 4 raw eggs and 2 bananas and some oatmeal and some shit like that. Great stuff. But basically I'll do my strength training in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then I go and eat something, and I usually have a coaching call with one of my students on the mentorship program, and after the call, go back to training usually. So after the call, I usually have something to eat. Then nowadays I'm actually filming some stuff for you guys as well, so that's nice. So that's usually my afternoon, and then I go and do one more session. Or if I'm not filming as much, I'm usually always studying. So what I'm studying is boxing, martial arts, and training always. So I usually study about 4 or 5 hours a day, still. And mindset as well. I work on my mindset every single day, at least 1 or 2 hours, just trying to get smarter. And yeah, then we go back to training. Then I go to bed usually about at 10 p.m. these days, which is freaking proud of it. Then wake up and do the whole shit again. Alright, I'm working on eating better, good for you, which has been a real challenge. Definitely can relate to that, not only because junk tastes so good, it doesn't really taste so good. Even the sentence doesn't make sense. Junk tastes good. Have you tried ever eating just junk? Johnny, you've tried it?
Never.
Shit, that's a good. Try eating junk for just 3 days. Just junk, not anything like good. Just pure freaking junk, and you'll see how you feel after 3 days. You're gonna feel like shit. So maybe try to do that, and then you'll see that the junk doesn't really taste or makes you feel good. But because also everyone around me eats it, not on the same page, and the junk food is always in the. Do you struggle with that? I used to struggle with that, definitely, if it's on I usually had in Thailand I had a cabinet for and just I would have some junk food there, but then just because of the fact that it was there, I actually didn't eat it. So that was a nice challenge. Just the fact that it was there, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat it when I have a really day when I really feel like eating cheat shit. And then I was like, and that shit was staying in the cabinet for a surprisingly long time, so that worked just fine. I would also say a good idea is to have one day a week when you just eat shit. Urosh does that, and it just works perfectly for him. He's still freaking ripped 6 times a week. He eats freaking chicken and salad and the whole thing, everything up to a point, and then on Sunday he will eat a whole milk of chocolate and just a whole bunch of shit, and still the guy is ripped to shreds. So have that one day, maybe that'd be a good start of creating a habit of eating more healthy. For now you can have 2 days. Okay, Wednesday and Sunday you can have some junk food, have some shit. Actually call it shit. Because that way you'll be eating shit and nobody likes to do that. So I think it's gonna be easier to avoid. So make sure first dial it down to twice a week and then dial it down to once a week. So just on Sunday you're allowed to eat shit. I know it sounds ridiculous, but do that. Try that, and it will work. And the next guy straight up is will race for food. I think your channel should develop with you, introduce some combat sports into it. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That's very appreciated, because when you try to switch things up, people often don't react too nicely, but really, really appreciate it. They can be a really great workout. Not sure I'm going to coach boxing right away, because I don't feel competent just as of now to train boxing. I like to master a discipline, or at least 80% of the discipline before I like to teach it. So I've been practicing boxing right now for maybe like the past year, incredibly consistent, pretty much every week. But prior to that, maybe I had 2 years, so altogether about 3 years of experience, not enough to freaking coach. After about 5 years, we're gonna do some coaching. But for now, I really want to entertain you guys. As soon as there's gonna be some fights, there's gonna be some knockouts, and it's gonna be beautifully filmed, and I'm gonna post that stuff. So you're gonna have some amazing fights here on Dominik Sky's YouTube channel. It's a good shit. All right, couple more. You have time?
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, that's a good one. How to train in the cold, Lucas X. Good name, love that name. How to train in the cold and have fun. I'm freezing right now, to be completely honest, because it's fucking cold in here. But we're still having fun, so that's good. Plus make progress. Well, I don't think training in the cold is stopping you from progressing. It's definitely making it more demanding mentally. Physically sometimes as well, depends on what you're doing. Like tomorrow morning I have to do a freaking kicking session, and I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna go here at 8 a.m. It's gonna be fucking cold, and my middle split is gonna be like just not there. Yeah, when I was in Thailand, when you wake up and it's freaking warm outside, I jumped into a pool, spread my legs, man, my mobility was much better. So if you're in a warmer place, mobility is definitely easier to acquire quickly. While if you're training in the cold, that can be a freaking shitty thing to do. So a good tip would be, Jim is actually right now, my student on the mentorship program is training in Italy, and he's training at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. So it's freaking cold outside. He sent me, I was watching a video just now, it was freezing cold, it was freaking windy as shit, and it was raining as well, and he had to do weighted dips 5 o'clock in the morning. He was like, who else does this shit? But it looked like he actually enjoyed it. So it's up here if you have fun. So it all depends, up to you. I definitely have fun in a morning session, even though it's freaking cold. I'm deeply awaiting the freaking summer when it's gonna be a bit warmer. But still, then it's gonna be freaking warm, and it's gonna be freaking flies in here and mosquitoes, and it's gonna be a whole bunch of shit that's not gonna be right as well. So you might as well enjoy it right now, what you have, and be happy with it. At least you have a place to train, even though it's freaking cold. Some people don't even have a place to train. Yeah, regarding the progress, it's just the same in the cold. I would say cold even helps because it makes you mentally stronger, which is a lot of the time success is up here. So if you can gather your shit to do the training in the cold, you're a bad motherfucker. Melih M, bro, could you please do a detailed jump higher video? Okay, this is a very simple thing. We can make a video as well, but this is a very simple question to answer. So the first thing is, and it's a sad thing that I have to freaking tell, is you can't drastically improve your jumping ability. You cannot. So you can slightly improve it, you can improve it a little bit, but you cannot drastically improve it. So it means I'm 6 feet, I can't dunk, I probably will never dunk. I did a lot of jumps in my life, probably 50,000 jumps, just a lot of free running, and I developed my jumping ability maximum I could, and it's still far from a freaking world record. So it's something you cannot really drastically improve. What you can improve is your technique. So by improving your technique, you can actually jump a little bit higher or a little bit longer or do a little bit nicer backflip, but still you're not actually able to jump longer. Your technique is a little bit better, so you can go a little bit far. And usually the technique that people have is quite shitty, so you can work a lot on your technique. And how do we work on our technique? The best thing would be precision jumping. So jumping on a specific spot. So a simple parkour practice would be freaking phenomenal, and me and Johnny can make a video about it. Very simple. We would just go somewhere and do a little bit of jumping. So jumping precise, being able to jump precisely is going to improve your ability to jump longer as well, because your technique is going to be better. So that's the best thing you can do, is jump. Do a lot of jumps. Do 50 jumps a day for about 5 years, and you're going to be very good at jumping. You're going to be very proficient. So it usually takes, by Pavel Tsatsouline wrote, according to research, it took, I think it's about 100,000 jumps. It takes 100,000 jumps to fully develop your jumping ability. I think that's about 50 jumps for 6 times a week for about 5 years. So that'd be the easiest way to learn how to jump higher, is to jump and do precision jumping. And also the easiest thing would be not to do a whole bunch of dangerous plyometrics and specific box jumps and stuff like that. I would rather you do precision jumping. But what would greatly improve your ability to jump higher would be to produce more force. By that I mean getting stronger. And how do you get stronger? You do freaking squats and deadlifts. So if you learn how to squat correctly and you implement a squat about, let's say, 3 times a week, 3 sets of 5, and then twice a week you do 1 set of 5 on a heavy deadlift, or 2 sets of 5, that would be the absolute easiest way you can improve your jumping ability. Getting your deadlift from probably 0 if you're not training it to 100, 150 kgs. That will drastically improve your lower back strength, your hip strength, your quad strength. It will make your body stronger, your core more stable, and you'll be able to jump higher as well and produce more force. So you won't be able to sprint faster, but you'll be able to jump a little bit higher, even though it will take you some more time. But yeah, that's a way to jump higher. Squat and deadlift properly. Don't push with too much weight. Don't do heavy singles or heavy doubles or heavy triples. Do 3 sets of 5 about 2-3 times per week. And make sure you implement some precision jumping. So jumping on a specific spot, and we're going to make a video about that. So that's basically what you need to do is a simple parkour practice. Go outside and for 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 1 hour, do some jumping. And do the specific jumping that you want to do according to what you want to achieve. So if you want to dunk, do some specific jumping like that. So if you want to, do a backflip, some box jump would actually be appropriate. If you want to, jump more in length, then that would be an appropriate practice. All right, passionate beast, maybe a video about ring training. Considering you're a passionate beast, I think you can use that passion and go on my YouTube channel and find at least 50 freaking videos of ring trainings. And there's so many exercises. If you start now, you won't be able to do all of that shit till you're 50. So start now. I think that's a good way to go about it. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Just one more. Stefan Krieken, don't know what to train first, the ring muscle up or the bar muscle up. The bar muscle up trains explosiveness, the ring muscle up does technique, but I'm not sure. Both require quite great technique. I would say bar muscle up actually requires a more elaborate technique than the ring muscle up. But okay, I'm not sure where to start. Any tips? By the way, glad to have you back. Thank you, Stefan. So basically, what you gotta do is, I tell all my students, if you want to do a bar muscle up, you gotta pull a 40 kg weighted pull up. Or I tell all my students that are training here, if you don't pull a 40 kg weighted pull up, you're not yet a man. So the first time I get students here, the first thing they work on is becoming a man. So being able to pull a 40 kg weighted pull up. And after they can pull a 40 kg weighted pull-up, wondrous things happen. Their front lever gets better, their ability to be explosive gets better. So do weighted pull-ups about twice per week, 5 sets of 5, 3 sets of 5. And try to progress in that. Make sure to occasionally do some chin-ups or some neutral grips, so try to switch up the grip occasionally to not end up with a golfer's elbow or a tennis elbow. And then if you want to achieve the ring muscle up, you don't really need a very good pulling strength. So if you can do 5x5 on the ring chin-ups, you have more than enough pulling strength. You actually only need one good chin-up if you want to do the ring muscle. The pressing portion is more difficult. So here you gotta really make sure that the tricep stays tight and you kind of pressing down. If the tricep fails here, you're not gonna be able to go through. And you gotta maintain a false grip, but that's only difficult here in the hang where it requires more mobility. In the bent arm position, you're gonna have no troubles with the false grip. You just need to use some magnesium and set it up properly. But yeah, the more difficult part about the ring muscle up is doing the dip and doing the transition. So you want to practice the dip and you want to practice the transition. And if for now you can't do it, you can just stand on the floor and practice the transition part. Get better at it. Watch other people doing the muscle up. Make sure it looks the same, it looks proper. So do 5 sets of 5 on the chin-ups, do 5 sets of 5 on the dips, and do 3 sets of 5 on the muscle up transition if you want to get the ring muscle up. If you want to get the bar muscle up, focus on weighted pull-ups, twice per week weighted pull-ups, that's the priority. And later on, incorporating some high pull-ups will be a thing to do. So at least once a week for 3 sets of 3 with the high pull-ups, and then you do 3 sets of 5 on the weighted pull-ups, and that'll be absolutely phenomenal. Well, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And I hope you learned something new and learned something that's going to help you on your journey towards becoming better. That's the mission behind these videos. Thank you so much for your time, and remember, if you want to progress faster, click the link right here below the video. If you haven't seen this video, guys, you gotta freaking watch it. So if you haven't seen it yet, really make sure to click the link right here below the video, and I will show you 3 very simple things that you can do that will drastically speed up your progress with your training. So don't hesitate, click the link right here, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you so much for your time, and remember, you're a champion. Boom.
Så är det, tror jag.